So hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you guys and gals are all doing well. My name is Terry and let's talk about some tech here right now. Okay, so look, as you all know, a little while back, my good friends over at YOLO Live, they were kind enough to not only send me their absolutely ridiculously incredible YoloCam S7, they, a little while after that, reached out and said, hey Terry, we have an even better camera for you to check out, and you already know what this here is, right? I'm talking about the incredible YoloCam S7. This thing is utterly ridiculous, and I love it so much. And why do I say it's ridiculous? Well, folks, how is it not ridiculous in the most awesome, most amazing way possible? It is a fully mirrorless camera with an interchangeable lens system that you could essentially adapt any lens you want to it. Of course, there are some lenses that do work better than others, but I mean, with adapters, you could literally put any kind of lens you want on this thing. 4K 60 via USB-C, no capture card required, literally plug and play. And I know what you're saying, well Terry, my Sony camera can do that. Heck, a matter of fact, y'all, the camera I'm using right now, my A7 IV, it can do 1080p 60 via USB as well. But here's the thing though, y'all, can't do 4K. I need a capture card for that. This thing here, no capture card required. It just works. So with that being said, I thought I would take you guys and gals on a little ride along here today to show you all how I actually use this thing inside of OBS Studio to get incredibly crisp 4K footage from this camera. Let's check it out. All right, everybody, now that we're back at my PC setup here, here's how I implement all of this stuff in OBS with the YoloCam S7. Now to actually get it as a source here in OBS Studio, I want to go ahead and click right down here, the little plus button. I'm going to call this here Big Cam. I'm going to go ahead and hit add source again. I'm going to go all the way down here to video capture device. I'm going to add a new video capture device. And as you'll see, it's already defaulted to this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this here to a custom resolution 4K. Now, just so both of these videos are synced up, I'm recording in OBS at only 24 frames per second as well too, because I'm recording this camera here at 24 frames per second. But if you see here on screen, folks, again, this is no capture card, USB-C directly into the back of my PC. There is an option here for 4K 60, and yes, it does work. I use it on my streams all the time. Now for video format, I'm going to go ahead and say MJPEG. For color space, I'm going to say Rec 709. Then for color range, I'm going to leave that there as default. And then for buffering, I actually turn that on for enabled. Because what I actually have noticed here, folks, is that whenever I have this turned off, there's so much data being sent to my PC that, yes, of course, it can't handle it, but sometimes I'll notice some like stutters or something in the video feed. That's not any fault of the camera itself. It's just that that thing is sending so much data to my PC. Sometimes if it gets busy working on the stream or a recording in the background in OBS, it can sometimes let's just say overdo it a little bit, okay? So whenever I have buffering turned on, that essentially just gives the frame buffer a little bit of wiggle room to actually process every single frame smoothly. I'm gonna go ahead and uncheck apply rotation, and I will go ahead and check use hardware decoding when available. So that way there, any like spare GPU cycles that my 4080 has, it can be used to actually help process the video feed coming from this camera. And I'm gonna hit okay. Now, the reason why I did it this way here, folks, is because I am a big fan of nested scenes. So what I'm going to do is I have a plugin here in OBS Studio called the Source Clone plugin, right? And what that allows me to do, it allows me to clone any kind of source I want. Matter of fact, I believe you can also even do like full-on scenes, like scene groups, you know, but I just tend to stick to just single, you know, source clones here. So I'm going to go ahead and source clone this capture right here. Okay, but first I'm going to go ahead and rename this here. I'm going to call this here YoloCam S7. I'm going to use the source clone plugin in OBS Studio here to clone this source in my game capture source here, okay? That way there, I can actually manipulate the source without affecting the main source here, okay? So I'm going to go to my game capture here, and I'm going to go ahead and click the plus sign here. I'm going to go all the way down here to source clone. I'm going to say add new source clone. I'm going to go to canvas, main, clone. I'm going to click on Big Cam, and just like that, there we go. Now, this actually does have its own built-in audio. Like you can actually hook up a microphone to it, but I'm using a separate one here, as you can tell. So I'm going to go and just make sure that this here is unchecked. And because we're already using a buffer on the source itself in the other scene, I'm going to just say this here as no buffer here, okay? I'm going to hit OK, and as you can see, what's great about a source clone is that you can manipulate this source as much as you want and it will not affect the main bigger source over here, okay? Because sometimes if you like insert this source into another scene, it will affect the source in multiple scenes at once. But what the whole source clone allows you to do is just that. This one here stays exactly where I want it, and then again I can clone it to wherever else I want it, manipulate it, apply filters to it, and this main one here will not be affected at all. So this is looking pretty good, right, y'all? I got my gameplay scene right here. But, you know, a lot of people are big fans of the meme cameras, okay? They are fans of the meme, if you know what I mean, to where they hit a button and they look at the camera and like their webcam gets really big, blown up. Here's how you can do that. So first, I'm going to go ahead and rename this here Game Cam, just like that there, right? But then I'm going to add another source clone to this, okay? So I'm going to go right here, plus source clone. Add new source clone, main, then once again, big cam, uncheck audio, leave the buffer turned off. And again, as you can see, it looks just the same as it does on the big cam source again, which is exactly what you want to happen. I'm going to go back to my game capture here. And now what I can do is, because this is going to be a meme camera, right? I'm going to blow this thing up for as big as I can just to make it, again, kind of a meme. So that way there, you can do what everybody seems to do. Or at least it used to be really big back when I was streaming a lot over on the Mixer days. So you're sitting here talking yada, yada, yada. Somebody says something stupid in chat. Really? Really? And because this is a 4K camera, you're able to really punch in like this without losing a ton of resolution. And the cool thing here is, folks, is that I'm actually working on a 4K canvas right here. So whenever you put a 4K source inside of a 1080p base canvas for like your Twitch streams or whatnot, again, you're squishing 4K down to a much smaller size, right? And because of that, whenever you punch in like this to 4K on a 1080p canvas, it's going to look even sharper than what this here looks, which in my opinion is pretty darn awesome. And now that the meme is over, we can get back to our gameplay. And of course, if you have a Stream Deck, y'all, you can actually tie that to turn that source off and on via a Stream Deck command, which again is pretty darn cool. And if you're a streamer, you definitely should have a Stream Deck, but hey, I digress. Now, folks, look, I know that was an extreme basic way to set up this amazing camera inside of OBS Studio, but the way I see it though is that even if you don't have this kind of camera, you could apply what I just taught you all how to do. Again, just a very basic gameplay scene in OBS, and you could apply that to any webcam that you want. I just prefer my S7 for obvious reasons. Guys, for real, y'all, shout out to Yolo Live. Y'all are incredible, you really are. But folks, for real though, y'all, now that I've shown you how to do a very basic camera overlay and everything here inside of OBS Studio, I would love to see what you guys and girls out there in YouTube land have created yourselves. So do me a favor, go follow me over on my X account. Everything is down below. Tag me in your post for when you go live. I'll come by your streams and check them out. But once again though, y'all, I cannot stress this enough. Again, huge thank you to my friends over at Yolo Live for sending me this amazing Yolo Cam S7 a few months ago. I have gotten so much love on stream because of this, so much love on my YouTube videos whenever I'm just sitting down here doing talking head stuff and I didn't want to bust out my big main camera setup here. People think this setup costs like thousands upon thousands of dollars, and whenever I tell them how much it actually costs, their jaw drops. They're like, there's no actual way. Because trust me, folks, this thing is way more affordable than what you think it is. But good luck out there though, everybody, okay? Happy streaming. See you guys in gals next time.